Nord-Sud 98.9, Centre 97.3, Est-Ouest 91.7. RM1, la radio nationale.
RM1, it's 9 o'clock. The news presented by Iris Stewart. Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Sophie.
The headlines.
Prime Minister calls for strong coordination ahead of Mahashivaratri and Thaipusam Kavadi celebrations. Online fraud on the rise as hundreds of cases reported and cardless cash system comes under scrutiny. Health hotline flooded with complaints as Minister visits new cancer centre to address patient concerns. School transfers cause anxiety among parents as Education Ministry promises swift issuance of letters. Vehicle registrations decline as higher prices hit automotive sector after budget measures. Mauritius set to become Indian Ocean environmental hub with opening of Greenpeace Africa office. In world news, Iran cuts internet and phone services as protests spread nationwide and death toll rises. And in sports news, Champ de Mars prepares for training resumption as Mauritian jockeys return from South African Academy. The Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Ramgoolam, chaired a working meeting focused on the organisation of Mahashivaratri and Thaipusam Kavadi religious festivals. The meeting was held at his office at the Treasury Building in the presence of several concerned ministers. The head of government stressed the importance of effective coordination among all stakeholders to ensure the smooth running of these two major religious events. Discussions focused on key aspects including logistics, security, traffic management, health services and water supply. The objective is to allow pilgrims to observe these moments of devotion in a well-organized, calm and safe environment while ensuring their well-being. More details with Shrina Apadu.
With regards to preparations for the Mahashivaratri pilgrimage and the Thaipusam Kavadi festival, several important aspects were discussed at this meeting, chaired by the Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Ramgoolam. These included logistics, security, road traffic, health services and water supply. Essential elements to ensure that these two religious events take place under the best possible conditions. The Prime Minister emphasised the importance of effective coordination between the various ministries and relevant authorities so that Mahashivaratri and Kavadi remain moments of reflection in a peaceful and organised atmosphere while ensuring the safety and well-being of the pilgrims. Ministers Rajesh Bhagwan, Ajay Ganesh, Anil Baichu, Devan Nagalingam, Osman Mohamed, Michael Sikyan and Mahen Gundia participated in this meeting.
A total of 763 cases of online fraud have been reported between January and November 2025. These cases are often exposed on social media. And this week, MP Fahad Omia also revealed that he had fallen victim to such fraud. One system being highlighted is cardless cash transactions. More information on this with Shrina Apadu.
Posts are multiplying on social media in which customers are saying that they have had cardless withdrawals made that they never authorised. These include victim testimonies, warning messages and explanations from internet users about the methods utilised. We contacted MCB's press office regarding these cases. The most common cases are online scams and frauds, lottery and loan scams as well as fraudulent online purchases. The most recurrent payment methods chosen by scammers is cardless withdrawals, whereby people often share their data. MP Fahad Omir explained that he has been a victim himself. He asked for explanations on his Facebook page. According to him, his account was debited twice without any transaction on his part on 2 consecutive Saturdays last November.
Le problème que le code vient au téléphone. Oh donc, me fait la banque comprend qu'il a mon téléphone, pas fini n'a aucune transaction qu'il m'a fait faire, ah?
Dr. Fahad Omir stated that the issue is that the code is received on one's telephone. He explained to the bank that he had not made any transactions using his phone. He met with the manager of the anti-fraud department and they explained to him that most probably someone else used his phone. He pointed out that this is not possible as his phone is usually with him round the clock. As a professional, he is available for his patients' calls. A cybersecurity expert indicates that this type of fraud remains complex and that any hasty conclusions should be avoided, as several scenarios are possible. When there is a complaint of a suspicious transaction, the bank can intervene to take necessary measures. It's the personal data given by the customer to the swindler which is normally used. Once the bank receives any complaint, it will immediately block all access to the customer's account.
Long waiting times, staff shortages and transport difficulties. Just 2 days after its launch, the Ministry of Health's hotline has already received numerous calls from patients. These concerns prompted the minister to visit the new cancer centre in Solferino for an on-site assessment yesterday. Some measures have already been implemented, with others to shortly follow. Take a listen to more on this reportage.
Launched just 2 days ago, the Ministry of Health's hotline is already proving its worth. Numerous calls have been registered, highlighting complaints related to certain hospital services. Among the most targeted facilities is the new cancer centre in Solferino. Hence, a surprise visit by the Minister of Health to assess the situation firsthand. Long waiting times, staff shortages and transportation difficulties were among the issues raised during the discussions.
Premièrement, qu'il manque des médecins. Premièrement, médecins spécialistes. Il y a plusieurs qui quittent le service public finalé.
Minister of Health Anil Baichi stated that there is a shortage of specialists, as several of them have left the public service. The number of nursing officers should also be increased, according to him. Concerning not listed medications which are given in certain exceptional conditions, shortages should be reported immediately, and procedures should not take longer than 2 days, he added.
De suite, sans aucun retard. Même n'importe qui procédure, une procédure capable de faire within 1 or 2 days.
The ministry also plans to improve parking facilities at the hospital. A designated area has already been identified and will be developed very soon.
And with the start of the school year approaching, many parents are still awaiting transfer decisions for their children, causing growing concern. Some have already purchased uniforms without knowing whether their children will remain in the same school, raising fears of additional expenses. Contacted on the issue, Pritam Mohitram, Assistant Director at the Ministry of Education, reassured parents that all grade 7 transfer letters will be issued as soon as possible. He urged parents to closely follow official communications in order to collect the letters without any further delay. In 2025, a total of 18,075 new vehicles were registered on Mauritian roads. While significant, the figure fell short of expectations in the automotive sector. Following the implementation of budgetary measures from July 1st, 2025, these measures led to sharp increases in the price of new vehicles ranging from 18 to 72%, depending on the model. According to Mrunal Tilok, Secretary General of the Motor Vehicles Dealers Association, this price surge has resulted in a drastic drop in sales, impacting the entire automotive industry. And in other news, Greenpeace Africa has announced the official opening of its office in Mauritius. The launch will take place on Wednesday, January 14 at the Hennessy Park Hotel during a ceremony bringing together authorities, civil society and regional partners. This new presence positions Mauritius as a hub for the Indian Ocean region, coinciding with the entry into force of the United Nations High Seas Treaty. The objective is to strengthen ocean protection, support communities, and amplify Mauritius's voice on global environmental issues. And it's 9:08. You're listening to RM1. We move to international news. Iran's government cut off the country from the internet and international telephone calls Thursday night as a nighttime demonstration called by the country's exiled crown prince drew a mass of protesters to shout from their windows and storm the streets. The protest represented the first test of whether the Iranian public could be swayed by Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, whose fatally ill father fled Iran just before the country's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Demonstrations have included cries in support of the Shah, something that could bring a death sentence in the past but now underlines the anger fueling the protests that began over Iran's ailing economy. The demonstrations that have popped up in cities and rural towns across Iran continued into Thursday. More markets and bazaars shut down in support of the protesters. So far, violence around the demonstrations has killed at least 42 people, while more than 2,270 others have been detained. And finally, in sports, basic training is set to resume at the Champ de Mars in the coming days. Behind the scenes, trainers are actively working to strengthen their stables and finalize jockey engagements, with further announcements expected in the weeks ahead. Meanwhile, Mauritian riders training at the academy in South Africa are heading back. After spending most of 2025 at the Champ de Mars, Yanish Taka has returned to continue his South African campaign. Nyavan Nastili is also rejoining the academy, following a series of promising outings in Mauritius towards the end of last season. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned now to the Intermeet playlist until 10 a.m.
RM1